Range trading continues. That is pretty much the theme for today's session. We came into the day pretty much looking to see whether or not buyers were going to defend that prior breakout point in the 45.80 area. If we take a look at this 30-minute chart, you can see that supply zone above this 45.80, this area highlighted in blue here on the 15-minute chart. Also quite visible on the 30-minute chart here as well. Essentially what we've been seeing is just a lot of supply, a lot of distribution from these upper levels, from these 4,600 levels. Now, we thought we had a potential breakout on Friday with the acceptance that was seen above 4,600. The issue is that sellers took over late Sunday evening when the markets opened up here. And if you take a look at this, check out the profile from Friday. So you have a lot of trapped longs, a lot of late longs that are going to be up here. They're going to be feeling the pain off the open, likely forced to cover if they were chasing that Friday move. And you get a move like we saw today. Now, does this change the current structure at play? Not really. Not really. Taking a look at the daily chart, we do have a bit of a sell bar today, but where are we? Where is the location? Well, we're still trading within that near-term range. So levels pretty much remain the same. 45.80 prior breakout point. That's going to be an important level for this week, as well as the 45.65 near-term volume point of control there, right in the center. Right there in the center. We initially caught a rally off the open. That 45.65 provided a great area to grab a long for an opening drive trade. You can see that push into 45.80 yet again, and VWAP providing a phenomenal short opportunity that also nearly lined up with the 10 a.m. reversal time. So some solid two-way trading today, solid action, bit of a chop here into the close. What I'm going to be looking at for tomorrow is, once again, how this 45.80 is treated. This has been a buyer's tape. This has been a bullish tape for the past 5 weeks or so now. We're continuing to see that resilience in the S&P. NQ is a bit of a different story. I'll take a look at that in just a moment here, but as far as ES is concerned, as far as SPY is concerned, we did not even get a test of that lower area of that near-term range support. Take a look into that 45 area. So bounced ahead of that near-term support zone, and now we're just back into that 45.80. I mentioned last week, the more times that price tests an area of resistance, the more likely it is going to break that level. Same is true for support. The more tests of an area of support that you see, the more likely that area of support is going to break. And this has to do with the orders that are sitting up here. This has to do with the activity that is seen above 45.80. So if you have a lot of supply above 45.80, which, yes, is exactly what we've seen, price continues to test all of that supply. Eventually, buyers absorb all of that supply and price resolves higher. Now, once again, thought we had that on Friday, did not materialize into higher prices today, which is what we're looking to see. As far as levels is concerned, like I said, pretty much trading the exact same levels. Now, NQ, a bit of a different story here with the near-term range breakdown today. Let's take a look at the daily chart. So we do have 2-3 weeks of consolidation here near that 16K level, that important 16K level. Price resolves that tighter range lower into kind of that early mid-November structure, as well as that September high right through here, catches a bid versus the rising 21 MA. So long as price is holding this nearly vertical 21 MA, buyers likely still in control here. If we start to see this 21 fail, if we start to see that 15,800 level, just looking at a straight horizontal line here, if we start to see that zone fail, yeah, you likely are going to see a much deeper pullback. So keep an eye on, essentially, if you want to keep it simple, keep an eye on today's low. That's going to be an important reference point for this week into next week. Even take a look at the hourly here. So this could potentially be a spring. right? If you're familiar with the Wyckoff Spring, we do have just a range here. Price dips below, likely grabs a lot of liquidity sitting down here, and we're back into the range. So NQ a little bit different in the sense that it did potentially, grab those lower levels, grab the stops that may be sitting down here, for lack of a better term, but again, back into the near-term range. So index, ES, NQ still range trading. Not a lot of updates here that I'm seeing anyway as far as the near-term structure is concerned. 4580 main watch on ES. As far as individual names, the list is pretty dry. Generally speaking, when you have the index on a sell day like today, you want to see if individual names are matching. Like if we have a bunch of individual names selling off today. That's not really what I saw going through the list today. Did come up with a few ideas on watch. We're going to be looking at, reset this chart here, looking at snow here. Once again, a weekly base breakout. Price is staying resilient near this area of resistance. Take a look. Each time it previously tested this 192 area, this 190 zone, sells off pretty immediately, right? Not what we're seeing. Not what we're seeing. So it ties in with the index in the sense that anytime price is testing a key area of resistance and showing that consolidation, it's not necessarily a bearish thing. Could potentially be a reaccumulation pattern. This is typical Wyckoff. When you see price tightening, meaning that the range gets tighter near a breakout point, it is a bullish development. The question is only, at what point is this going to break out? So snow is a watch. We're looking at continued strength up through 192 for that weekly base breakout. We also have SPOT on watch. This popped into the scan. Must have had news today. I didn't see what the headline was, but this is trading on massive volume. What is that volume? 350% daily average. So this is definitely a potential sell bar that is materialized here. What I'll be looking at tomorrow on SPOT is whether or not prices are showing some strength above 195. That's today's volume point of control. We want to assess whether or not that is accumulation or distribution on today's profile. UPST also on the watch. This was in the list today, looking for strength above that 32.75 to test 34.5. Pushing into session highs into the close here, that PT1 area that we had on watch. Just looking for a straightforward continuation play up into our PT2, which is the 36.55 for tomorrow. So that's a continuation watch. And then we did have ZS as well. Take a look at this daily setup. There's a daily buy setup. Recent trend higher. Price pulls back a bit into the fast MA. You have a hammer right there on. Decent volume, right? So just looking for strength up through 200, and that is a long. As far as the index is concerned, just to reiterate, still range trading. No updates here. So look at the 5-minute regular trading hours from today. ES now into session highs. What I'll be looking for is, depending on the overnight action, whether or not we can see that strength up through 45.80 once again to fill the gap into 4,600. Pretty nice action today, all things considered. Hope everyone had a great day. Hope everyone had a profitable session. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for the pre-market prep live stream. Take care.